Hello, this is Tim Talks About Everything, and today I'm going to talk about artifacts. Is it an artifact? Is it a geofact? Or is it a Leaverite? Artifact would be Native American. Geofact would be just a rock that looks kind of interesting and makes you wonder. And a Leaverite is like, why in the world did I even bring this home? So we're going to take a look at some artifacts, or maybe they're Leaverites. But they're all in my garden and I love every one of them, and we're going to take a look at each one of these. So just take a look, and I wouldn't mind getting some feedback from some of you if you have some opinions about whether these things are one thing or another, and we'll take them one at a time. So thanks for tuning in. So are these rocks just rocks? Is this just my wishful thinking that it's something more? Or are they maybe just shaped by nature and interesting, but just not an artifact? What do we really have here? So this first item, this was given to me on loan from a friend of mine. He thought this looked like an axe head or a preform, like maybe somebody was working on it and didn't finish it. A preform axe head, maybe to crack nuts or crack somebody's noggin, as far as that goes, because it is notched here, and it looks like it could be hafted because of these notches. And the other thing is that it's very smooth right there, like it has been used at some point by someone to maybe crack some nuts or something. And so this seems to be something that isn't just an ordinary rock. Well, I sent pictures of this off to two different archaeologists, both of them very knowledgeable, and both of them said that it was hard to tell from the picture, but they didn't think that it was really native made. And so, okay, strike one. Another thing that I found in this same field where that little axe head came from, or geofact, is this triangular shaped item. It is very, very smooth on this side, and this side, like it's been ground down. I mean, it's about as smooth as a baby's bottom is what I would just say about it. And it looks like it just fits right in your hand, and maybe you could use it to peck at something, to break something, to shape something, to knock other rocks and chip other rocks down, to fashion something. And it has this interesting patina, this reddish patina. In this field, there was nothing else like this. No other rocks that had that same kind of patina, that reddish look. It just stood out as something that was quite different, and so I had to pick it up because it just looked so different. But when I sent pictures off, one of the archaeologists said, well, the patina made him wonder if maybe it was something, but it probably wasn't. And the other archaeologist said that it was probably just a rock. So, strike two. So then there was this other triangular shaped rock that I found, and this triangular shaped rock wasn't as nicely formed as the other one, but it's definitely triangular shaped, and it also fits in your hand, and it's flat, very, very flat on this side. And so I thought, okay, because I found the other triangular rock, this is a triangular rock. Was there somebody that was shaping these things, some Native American many years ago? And so I picked it up. And also, this is one that I thought, well, I'm not going to send a picture to the archaeologists, because after all, if they didn't think that other one was native made, then they're probably not going to be too impressed with this one either. And so I would say this must be wishful thinking on my part. So then, another item, and I did send off pictures of this as well, and it's been chipped but also smoothed all the way around on all three sides here. It looks like it could have been put in somebody's hand and used to gouge at something, or strike something, to smooth something out. Again though, apparently just a geofact, maybe shaped by plows over the years. It's hard to say, although this stone was not at all like any of the other rocks that I found in that field, and I've looked for hours and hours. So it just seemed like it didn't really fit, and the shape of it, the hardness of it, I just felt like I had to pick it up, and so I'm going to keep it. And maybe it's just a wannabe, but I'm going to keep it nonetheless. Now, I have seen items like this on other YouTube videos where someone has said and called it a hoof grinder, and the idea being that you grab onto it, and it does have kind of a worn out place right there where the thumb fits very nicely, and the fingers here and here, it looks like there are places where it's been chipped out and fashioned. So it looks like maybe it could be a grinder of some sorts, and it is extremely flat, unnaturally flat on this side. So I thought, okay, well, I have to pick that up and I have to take that home and I'll study it some more, but probably it's just another geofact. The next item I have here is, I don't know that I would call this a triangular shape, but it definitely does fit in the hand. It's extremely flat on this side. It looks like someone could have used it to grind, to smooth something out, no doubt about it. If I was living out in a field or a forest and I found a rock like this, I think I could easily use this to fashion something or to grind up my flour if I was making flour. Same thing with this rock, extremely flat. And of all the hundreds of rocks that I've picked up out in this same field where we believe that there was a native camp at one time or another, because my friend has picked up 50 to 60 points there. I also have picked up a couple of arrowheads or projectile points there. So apparently there was at least a temporary settlement there, or a camp. And this is another rock that does fit. It's got some places here where your fingers just naturally go that look like they've been cut out or smoothed out, and it's got a nice heft to it. I think it could be very useful as a tool. Next, now this one is the ugliest one I have, but at the same time, see where my little finger goes? I mean, it just naturally fits right there. And I would say that, again, it's extremely flat on this side, and maybe that's glacier action that smoothed that out. I don't know, but it just fits the hand well. There are places where your fingers just automatically go, and it seems to be another grinding tool. In my opinion, at least in my wishful thinking, and I would relish thoughts from other people. If you would want to comment, I would really appreciate it. Even if you say, no, those are all just wannabes. They're just geofacts, or they're Leaverites maybe. Another extremely flat rock, but again, fits the hand very nicely for maybe working in a small item. And just had to pick it up, had to bring it home, had to put it in my garden. And then finally, this piece, anyone who looks at that would probably say, yes, that's native made. And yet an expert would look at this and say, no, that's modern. And in fact, it is modern. I mean, I would love to find something ancient like this out in a field somewhere, because it's a beautiful piece. But a friend of mine who makes arrowheads for me for hunting purposes made this. He put it out in his garden in the dirt for a couple of years, and one day when I was picking up some things from him, he gave it to me. But it's just a really beautiful piece, and I keep it in my garden just as a reminder that a lot of people lived a long time using stones for tools, and we have those tools that we can find today, and maybe some things that we just wish were tools, but nevertheless, it does make rocks more interesting. And by the way, I do have Native Americans in my family. I also have settlers in my family. I kind of have both sides covered. So this has always been an interest to me ever since I was a little kid, and found out that I have Native Americans in my family tree. So God bless you all. Thanks for tuning in. And if you would leave some comments, I would very much appreciate it. Thank you. This is Tim Talks About Everything signing off. God bless you.